Am I the asshole for leaving the restaurant when my fiance told me to pay for his friend's meal just because he had cancer? Anonymous for privacy reasons. Normally, I don't share private business on social media, but this time I'm gonna. So, my F28 fiance, Jack, M30, has a friend, Steve, M33, who had cancer but is now doing better. He's one of Jack's closest friends, and Jack was there for him all the way to the end of his treatment. Steve started going out and socializing again, which is great. However, whenever we go out, Jack will expect me to pay for Steve's meals or drinks using the excuse of he had cancer, show him some empathy. We went on an electronics shop one time, and Jack told me to pay for Steve's purchases because he had cancer. I sucked it up once and twice, but then he told me I couldn't do it anymore. Then I told him I couldn't do it anymore. He emphasized on the fact that Steve had cancer and reminded me of his financial status was affected, and so we should help him from time to time. But funny how I'm always the one paying. Yesterday, Jack and I were at a restaurant for lunch. Steve somehow showed up and sat with us. We ate lunch and chatted, then before we left, as I was about to pay the bill, Jack gestured for me to pay for Steve's meal too. I played dumb and said, "I'm sorry, but why should I pay for his meal?" Jack obviously didn't want to say because he had cancer and is struggling out loud in front of Steve, so he asked me to step outside so we could talk. I refused and said that there was nothing to say, that Steve had cancer, which was unfortunate and all, but that has nothing to do with me and my money and does not make him entitled to it. Steve looked stunned and he glanced at Jack, and Jack was fuming. He told me to just pay this time, but I only paid for our lunch, then got up and made my way out. I heard him repeatedly apologizing to Steve as I was walking out. Jack didn't come home, but left 4 nasty texts calling me unhinged, petty, selfish, and short-sighted, as I was unsympathetic to what his friend went and is still going through. I texted back that his friend's unfortunate circumstances aren't my responsibility, nor are they my fault. He said I'd lose nothing if I just paid for his lunch, and that just walking out on him was nasty beyond comprehension. I told him he could have paid for him if he felt so strongly about it. He responded by saying I was being willfully ignorant since I know he's out of a job as of now, and said that a small act of kindness could have gotten me a long way, but I made it about myself, my money, and jeopardized his friendship for no reason. He's still mad, saying he won't speak to me till I make it up to him and Steve. Am I the asshole for refusing to pay? Am I the asshole for cutting off the financial aid I give my parents? My parents are in a tight financial situation. Only my father receives a pension and they are unable to work anymore. I gave them my credit card, which has a high limit for them to buy what they want without having to keep asking. For example, fictitious values, they always spend about $1,200 to $1,500. In important context, my younger brother and I do not have a good relationship due to irreconcilable differences. We haven't spoken in almost 10 years. My parents gave up on trying to get us closer. This month, the spending on the card came in the value of $3K. I called my mother to find out what happened because never in a year has such a large expense been spent, and she started to dodge until she said that my brother and his 2 children came to live with them. Apparently, in the divorce process, the ex got the house and he got the company. They had 50-50 custody of the children, but she ended up giving up and he got full custody. The company, due to his management, my ex-sister-in-law, carried the company on her back, is not working out, and he was unable to pay rent, bills, food, a loan. Pension is still being worked out, but it takes time. He asked my parents for help. I asked if he helped around the house, and she said she felt sorry for him because he was really tight, so he only helps with bills and not food. I was annoyed because I don't care about helping my parents, but I don't want to support food for more than 1 adult and 2 children. I've never seen them in my life, so I don't really have any, affection. Sorry. I gave an ultimatum saying either he starts to help with that too, or I cancel the card and start sending restricted money to their account. They would have to be responsible for managing that money until next month, and that I was angry because even though I didn't care about them spending on the card, they didn't ask if it was okay to spend twice as much because there were 3 more people in the house. My mother started saying that they didn't want to ask me because they knew I would deny it, and that it was inhumane to treat someone who was going through hardship like that, and that I know my parents can't afford to stand on their own, and they would never turn their back on a son and two grandchildren, and started pressuring me to keep the credit card, that they would try to keep the budget lower as to not make it so high. I stood by my decision. She didn't want to ask him to help with food and sent the money to their account. They are begging me to release the card, but I don't feel comfortable paying for 3 more people. Am I the asshole? Edit, the money that they used to spend was more than enough for them. Am I the asshole for no longer wanting to pay for a trip abroad if my pregnant wife won't allow me to consume any alcohol on said trip? TLDR, my wife has decided that since she can't drink because she's pregnant, that I can't either. I plan to take us on an annual leave from work to take us and pay for a trip abroad. I asked my wife would the drinking rules still be in effect, and she said, of course. I have now decided I won't be paying for us to take this trip. Am I the asshole? More info. My wife and I both normally would smoke pretty often. My wife would smoke more than me, mainly due to the fact I work more hours and she works at a grocery store where she can happily go to work high, whereas I work at a job that I'd struggle to perform high. We both would rarely, maybe once or twice a month. Since my wife got pregnant, I knew the weed thing would be a big deal for her, so I was more than happy to give up smoking. She since then has also expected me to give up drinking. I'll drink. I'm not even allowed to have one beer if we go for a meal. My job, in my opinion, is more stressful, but also pays more, so I can pay the majority of our bills. After taking care of 90% of our bills, I've managed to save up and would like to take us on a holiday abroad to recharge after working my ass off without a holiday for the past few years. But not being able to enjoy a few drinks whilst on holiday, I feel kills the relaxation. And when it takes over a year to save up in this type of trip, I'd like to be able to enjoy it while it's at its fullest. My wife has decided she will not budge, and if she can't drink, neither can I. So I've decided that I won't be paying for this trip, and we can just do something cheaper, closer to home. Am I the asshole? Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I think I really liked how this look came out. And I hope you guys did too. I've been trying to make these videos longer, just because I feel like, you guys might want to like see how some of these looks are like really made. Like, especially with this eye makeup that I've been doing. I've been really proud of it since I learned how to do this, because I didn't know how to for a really long time. But yeah, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it inspires you to make beautiful art with your face. Please remember to comment, like, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notified of when I post. And comment below some stuff you guys want to see. I know I kind of do a lot of the same shit, but I will say I do have this one makeup thing that's coming in that I pre-ordered a few weeks ago. That should hopefully be coming in soon, from this new collab that Critical Role and Hip Dot did. And I'm really excited to do it and show you guys, and I hope you guys really like it. So yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Bye.